Hi, gonna try something new now. I've been I've been thinking about this, and I got thoughts in my head, and so I just thought I'd share them, and people can discuss this or whatever. Just ideas in my head. But I wanted to talk about reincarnation, and I think the reason is because of everything that's going on right now in our world. Um, A long time ago, I read a series of books called Life After Life. And one of the things that people came out of that feeling was that their purpose here on earth was to learn and to learn to love. And so, in thinking about, you know, the fact that people come and go on this earth and they affect a lot of other people, but you just kind of don't know anything about beyond that. It's a question, and it's a question to everybody, I'm sure, whether or not things life continues after life, and I think it does, and I think we all have souls, and I think that we have a creator, some power that is in charge of our lives, and some people who are very religious will think I'm full of it, and won't be interested at all in what I have to say. But um, I still thought I'd throw it out there just to see what people thought, because maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, I've often wondered about children who come into this world just knowing things, like a prodigy, somebody some little baby, little 2 or 3 year old who knows how to play the piano or knows math beyond whatever, or, who just comes into life um, in a genius mode, so to speak. People who just, for some reason, know things they shouldn't know. And because that happens, I've just always felt that there must be reincarnation. And then when you think about the soul, you think, well, that doesn't seem all to work together. But if you think of the soul as God's creation, okay, everybody has a soul. And if your purpose here on earth is to learn and to learn to love, they two powerful things, then your your reincarnation makes sense, because you come you you're first created, you're born here on earth, and you live your life, and you live that life learning certain things. Okay, so as an example, just give you examples of things I think. If during that life, for instance, you are very judgmental about, let's just say, a handicap, somebody who's handicapped, or people who are handicapped, and you're judgmental and not accepting, and not loving, and that kind of thing, then in my opinion, you would return, your soul, once you die, would then return to this earth as somebody else, and you would come as a handicapped person, so that you would learn what it's like to be a handicapped person. So if you're the kind of person who tortures animals, you would come back as the animal, so that your soul learns what it feels like to be tortured as an animal, and so forth. So you understand where I'm coming from in that respect. Now, I think that another proof that you you've lived before, in some cases, is young children. When when they're little, they'll say things sometimes. I mean, I'm sure most of you have had the experience, if you have children, have had the experience where one of your kids has said, "Oh, you know, before my other mom did this, or when I was big, one of my kids said, oh, remember when I was big and this happened? I didn't think anything of it. Kids just, they have an imagination, and they won't always want to be big, and so you just think that that's what they're talking about. But they make these statements and we don't ever delve into them because it's just kids being kids. It's like they're imaginary friends. They're just kids. So, but what if they're truly remembering something that they lived before when they were on another learning venture on the earth? So, if we were to maybe sit down and ask them more questions about this, we might learn more about what they're remembering and things. And of course, if they've been several times, sometimes you'll hear somebody say, I had a friend of mine tell me one time, you're an old soul, because I just have an understanding of certain things, or seem what appears to be an understanding. Who knows if what we think is really the truth, but just like this, who knows? But and I think how you get to be an old soul, because if you think about it, there would be just a finite number of souls. If God created a certain number of people and they all had souls and blah blah blah. But what if when a new let's say all the souls that have already been created are in use to as a form of saying it, they're in use. So a new baby is being born, so God creates a new soul. So you can always, there would be always a brand new soul for a brand new person if all the souls that have already been created are in use. So you could have I used the term wrong before, an infinite number of souls, if that was the truth, as opposed to a finite number, which is what I should have said before. Okay, so you've got, you can always have a new soul on the earth who has never experienced anything before, so they're not going to have any of those previous thoughts. But an old soul, or a soul that has returned, and they could return however long it takes you to learn whatever it is you're supposed to learn here on earth before you move on to whatever is the next part of our life. So you come back and just so that you can learn and learn more and learn more, and you don't remember your previous life because you won't learn as much if you remember that. You're not going to get the same learning experience if it isn't new. You always learn more when something is a brand new experience. So that's why you don't remember. But when you're a child, you get these little flashbacks because you're coming into this new existence fresh from the old existence in a lot of cases. Maybe not always, but in a lot of cases you would come into this new existence. So you might have flash memories of these things. Okay, so let's say that what I'm saying is true. That could explain why some people feel that they are in the wrong body. Like you have a little girl who says that, no, she's really a little boy. Well, what if she's just remembering a previous life? And instead of destroying this person that she is by giving her medicine or cutting up her body or whatever to try and accommodate this feeling, what if you had a conversation instead and realized that, wow, you're lucky because you're remembering a previous life and you must have been a little boy before, so now you get to experience what it's like to be a girl, so that's a really cool thing. And reinforce that it's okay that they felt that way, but that's not who they are now. And build up that so that the confusion then would be gone. Oh, okay, well, that explains it. I was that before, and now I'm this now. It's just, it would be the same with see, I think animals have souls, and so it would be the same with animals. If you came back as an animal to learn what it's like to be tortured as an animal, so that people would learn not, so your next life you're not going to torture animals, then you could even have this feeling that you were an elephant. I mean, I don't know. Some people say that they think they're animals. Okay, and what if in your previous life you were an amputee? You some part of your body was amputated for some reason, and when you came back, you have people on this earth who think that they should be in a wheelchair, for instance, or that they should not have this limb or whatever. And maybe that's the reason. I just think that if you think about this idea, this it opens up a whole new way of thinking about what's going on in with a person's thoughts when they have this dysphoria, this feeling that they aren't who they're portrayed as being. They aren't this female or male or or whatever, just an idea. And I'm not sure, I didn't write anything down, so I'm not sure I touched on everything that I wanted to touch on there, but it we can go on with some more of these if we've got something to discuss. But it would be really awesome to have a cool discussion about this and see what other people think, and um, come up with some ideas, or maybe even just get the idea out there so that there could be a different approach, a more humane approach to how a person deals with a dysphoria that they have, you know, and it gives you a whole different idea of your learning process. Um, if you want to get to this, whatever this afterlife is, at quicker, you might be open to learning what several things you need to learn right now by thinking, wow, this doesn't, I don't like this. I don't like that I'm a gossip. I don't like that I'm this. And so I need to change that right now because, I don't want to have to come back and experience that later. So, um, just a thought. I don't know. Coming back in the future scares me a whole lot because I'm scared of what our future on this earth will be like. And so that to me isn't something that I look forward to. But if I don't remember my past, then I don't. But I all the time I've been growing up, I always felt like I always wanted this two-story house with a big front porch with a the fur coats and the so I think that I came back from the roaring 20s or something when I came back from my last life, because those are always the things that I I feel like I'm attached to. Kind of weird, but anyway. So those are my ideas. So let me know what you think. You can share this if you want. Let's see if we can get a dialogue going. And I think it would be great fun. I appreciate you listening. Um, don't be too critical of me. I just am putting this out there. It doesn't mean I'm trying to make anybody believe my whatever, or find fault with anybody or anything like that. It's just for discussion's sake. thought it was a cool thing to discuss. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'm hoping maybe we'll have some more of these conversations about other things like aliens and stuff like that. It would be totally cool. So keep watching, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time.